What up, YouTube? Okay, let's talk about genetic potential. If you clicked on this, you are probably a person that says, can I be the next Ronnie Coleman? Can I be Usain Bolt? Can I be Michael Phelps? No, you fucking can't, because they would never get on the internet and look up genetic potential to see if they would be the best. But let's talk about it anyways. Let's talk about people like Usain Bolt. People bring him up as an example of amazing genetics, which he does have. That's undeniable, right? But they're like, oh man, he won a junior world championship at age 15. Do you think he fucking stepped on a world stage at age 15 as his first day of running, bro? No, he fucking didn't. This dude was running his whole life. By the time he was 15 years old, he probably had 10 years of experience of running already, because that is the culture where he's from. You can look it up. He was running with his brother. They played cricket. He was noticed from that. They asked him to sprint after that. Before he was even 12 years old, he had someone coach him in sprinting. So by the time he gets his first gold medal in 2008, bro, this dude has 10 plus years of experience, okay? Same thing with Michael Phelps, born in 1985, started swimming in 1982. With a coach at age 10, 3 years later, he starts swimming, more seriously, and he becomes a professional at age 14 or 15. I don't know, super, super young. But the point is, he was coached into it. He started really young. It wasn't like the very first day he swam, he was fucking Michael Phelps, okay? It was 15 to 20 years later that it was almost 20 years later, 18 years that he won those 8 gold medals at the Olympics, right? So had he got on Google, got on YouTube, and looked up, do I have the genetic potential to be the greatest swimmer in the world? It probably would get a fuck no. Like, you probably just aren't going to get that answer. Are you watching this video going to be Michael Phelps or Usain Bolt? Probably not. But it really has nothing to do with what you're trying to do. If you're not trying to be the greatest of all time, why the fuck does it matter? Why are you looking up your genetic potential? Maybe the only thing I would say that genetic potential matters for is bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is a weird fucking sport. Not a huge fan of it. It's very aesthetic. So I wouldn't say that simply working hard can get you where you want to go in a very subjective judging sport like that. But almost everything else, swimming, running, baseball, boxing, all of that shit, you can make it to the top of the top with hard work and good coaching. Or a little bit of luck, right? But it's not just like, oh, you got these amazing genetics, you're automatically going to be the best of the best. How many times have we seen really good kids, really good teenagers not become the athletes that we thought they were going to become? They clearly had the genetics to do it, but there's obviously more than genetics to sport. Or else you would be able to see from age 5 every kid that was going to be in the NBA at the top of the world weightlifting championships and shit like that, right? And furthermore, talking about weightlifting, if genetics were the only thing that mattered in sports, we would see across the board this country, this area, this family, dominating any sport that was relatively similar. I would expect to see sprinters and weightlifters, similar cultures, similar countries, but it's not like that. Russia and China pretty much dominate weightlifting. Jamaica is known for sprinters. It's the culture. Obviously, if you have the genetics to be the greatest weightlifter of all time and you never fucking pick up a barbell, you're not going to be the greatest weightlifter of all time. So again, that brings me back to, it doesn't fucking matter. Do you want to lift weights? Do you want to sprint? Do you want to play basketball? Who gives a fuck about your genetic potential then? The fact that you are looking to see if you have the genetic potential means you don't have the mindset. Honestly, I'm not saying that can't change, but I'm saying the fact that you're looking into that, that's like looking up your opponent. Is this guy faster than me? Can I win? Is this guy a better boxer than me? Can I win? You lost, bro. You fucking lost already. Why do you care if there's some limiting factor, bro? Steve Prefontaine. I used to be a runner, so Steve Prefontaine is my fucking hero, bro. He was not genetically gifted. I mean, they might say that now after what he's accomplished, but everyone knows he was this puny dude that wasn't amazing, and he worked his ass off. He ran as hard as he fucking could, and he became a fucking legend. You get what I'm saying? He wasn't looking for excuses. He wasn't looking to see if he had the genetics. He wasn't looking to see if all these other people were better. So does that mean I can't make it? He was like, fuck it, I'm getting after it. He probably didn't know he was going to be Steve Prefontaine. He just knew that he was going to work as hard as he possibly could to get to the end of his limits, which you don't know where those lie. You don't know where the end of your limits are. And you're not going to know because you're never going to reach them. So you doing something for 6 months, doing something for a year and saying, oh, I don't have the genetics for that. You're a bitch. Sorry, I shouldn't call you that. You're soft. You're soft, all right? You don't know shit after a year. You don't know shit after 5 years. 5 years not even a long time in the sport. 5 years is where you start figuring stuff out and you realize you didn't know shit the past 5 years. That's when you start becoming an actual athlete in your sport. Before that, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. Okay? So let me roll this back in. And I'll give you some more examples, even in my own life. I started running when I was 5 years old, 6 years old, Columbia, South Carolina. I still remember my first ever serious run. It was Susan G. Komen's Walk for Cancer. But of course, my family being competitive, we ran it, right? So that was the first time I ever ran. And I fell in love with it. And I would run every single day. Every single day. And we moved to Texas, or back to Texas, when I was 11, maybe 12. So this is 6 years of me running almost every single day. And in Columbia, we didn't have sports in middle school, or not track anyways. So I got to Texas, and they said they had a track team. I'm like, oh, can I run? They're like, there's a meet tomorrow, bro. Didn't have no track shoes. All I had was my basketball shoes. They're like, what do you want to run? I'm like, well, probably the 2 mile, you know. So I get on the track. I run a 2 mile. And I mean, I just lap every single kid multiple times. Like, it wasn't even close. Not even close. I dusted these kids. And the coaches say, holy shit, kid. You got the gift. You got the lungs. I got the lungs. What the fuck does that mean? They don't know that I've been running for 6 years. They think I'm a natural because this is what they see. This is their first impression. According to them, I've never ran before. And this is what happens a lot of times. Kids play basketball from age 3. That was also me. My dad's been making me play basketball since I can remember. Kids do these things from age 2 or 3 years old. You're getting to touch the ball. You're getting to figure out how it reacts to certain surfaces. You're getting to figure out your own body. And you're 6 years old and you're 7 years old and you're 8 years old and you're playing in a league where it's supposed to be the kid's first time playing and it's not your first time. And then they go, man, that kid's a fucking natural. That kid's got the gift. That kid's got the genetics, whatever. And that just is a snowball effect because now you're the gifted one. Now people are paying attention to you. Now you get the better coaching. And that just keeps happening. And of course, 15 years later, you're a professional, you're world class, you're a record breaker. And it's like, yeah, he just always had the gift. But did you though? Or did you put in 15 years of work? Did you put in 20 years of work? I don't know how gifted you are if it took you 20 years to do it. So if you put in 20 years of work in something and you were still fucking horrible at it, I would say, yeah, bro, you don't have the genetic potential for this shit. But only then would we really see something. 10, 15, 20 years later with good coaching. If you had a really good coach and this guy was adapting strategies and he was trying to figure things out for you and, 20 years passed and you just still fucking sucked, I would say, bro, you don't have the genetics. You actually don't have the genetics for this. But you can't say shit after 6 months. After a year, like, oh, I did this bodybuilder shit, my biceps won't grow. You don't even know how to fucking use your biceps. Dude, you know how many fucking people I see in the gym that do shit wrong and they've been lifting for 5 or 6 years? You don't know shit after a year. So anyways, I've been talking for a really long time. I'm going to close this up by saying there's a couple books I would read if you want to get into this subject a little bit more. The Talent Code, Grit by Angela Duckworth, and Mindset by Carol Dweck. Those books, for me, they really changed something inside of myself, because until I was maybe 23, I was still on this genetic shit too. I had, according to me, worked my ass off in track, and I didn't get as far as I wanted to. I worked my ass off in basketball, I didn't get as far as I wanted to. And I basically fucking quit, man. And I said I didn't have the genetics to make it to the top of the top. But, you know, once I read those books and I realized that I was doing a lot of shit wrong. I was ignoring a lot of things that I could have done better. I wasn't getting the best possible coaching that I could have, or I was ignoring those coaches when they told me to do certain stuff. And looking back on it, I just know that I could have been a way better athlete than I was. And I was considered gifted. So imagine all the other people in the world that maybe were told that they suck or something because they started late. Or, you know, they just didn't have the right coaching at first. You never fucking know, man. If you want to do something, follow that shit through forever. Forever. What's the worst that could happen? You wanna see how far you could take it in basketball? Keep fucking playing. You don't have to quit your job, bro. Just keep playing. Keep trying to get better. If you ever find a coach, get coaching, bro. It's that simple. Get the best help you can get and persevere. Stay with the shit for as long as you can. Don't give up in a year, 2 years, even 3 years, you know, and say that you're not good. It's just not how it works. So read those books. Leave any comments if you think I'm full of shit. I'll probably delete your comment and block you from my channel. Yeah, y'all have a good day. And I'll try to keep putting out these videos. I got a lot more topics that I'm going to be coming with. I got a special guest on Friday. But if you have anything that you want to see me talk about or research, I like doing research. So if you want to know something but you don't feel like doing the research for it, comment and tell me. I will put together some comprehensive shit and put it in a video and try to educate people on it. Yeah, y'all have a good day. Thanks for watching.